Hi everyone, welcome. This is Peter Sunday One Hour Ramble episode. Yeah, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad to hear you. And let's start with my slogan of Peter's English podcast. Learn English, be successful, change your life, open other doors, create your own podcast, write your own novel. You don't need to be talented because learning English is for everyone. Okay, people. Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Peter, and this is my Peter's English podcast. And this is my Peter Sunday 1 hour ramble episode, as I said before. And this kind of episodes, I mean, Peter Sunday 1 hour ramble episode is about talking and talking and talking and talking for 1 hour without any kind of preparation about every kind of nonsense. The main goal is simply to survive and improvise in English for 1 hour without any kind of preparation. And I did it so many times that I don't have any kind of problem with it now. I only need to find a simply good topic for talking. And it's a very good idea how to do this because thanks to this, because thanks to my Peter English podcast and thanks to my Peter Sunday 1 hour ramble episode, I can practice my speaking skills in English, and this is very important thing. Okay, I don't know about your weather, but I can tell you that in my village in Slovakia is raining right now because today is Sunday and it's raining. And yes, the July in Slovakia is not very beautiful. It's full of rain. It's a little colder. Yes, it's 20 or something like that. But it's better than this heat wave that was at the end of the June. I mean, 29. Wait a minute. Yes, yes, people. I had today very good lunch. Yes, I had to tell you about my lunch today. I had so good lunch. Peter, don't destroy your mic. It wasn't cheap at all. It was good, but I simply can move something and it can be bad. I can tell you. I can describe you my lunch today. Yes, it's total nonsense. Why not? I had for lunch for lunch. Chicken soup with with noodles, and the second food uh, as the main course, and the second food was uh, cooked pork meat with a lot of potatoes and plums. Perfect lunch. And at 3 p.m. I drank a cup of coffee with a lot of sweets. As you know, I had a little problem with my stomach, but it's the part of the comedy. Is the part of my comedy routine. But I drink a cup of coffee at 15 at 3 p.m. Now it's 2 hours 34 minutes after it. I think that I can simply do this. And before this live stream, what I did, uh, uh, I watched my Futurama because it was my favorite animated series on Disney Plus because I pay for it for it for 2 years now. But I managed to finish it, and I want to finish the Simpsons, and then I want to choose something different. But okay, we can start with this week. This week I worked in the morning. It's week B, and in the afternoon, and as you know, I work in the morning and in the afternoon. What I did, I watched Futurama, my favorite animated sitcom series, for practicing my listening skills, and 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 I listened to my favorite English podcast, and then I streamed and recorded on my YouTube channel via OBS Studio for live streams of my yes, people. I simply had a good line. You can see still, but I think that I can continue with this without any kind of problems. I did 4 live streams of my Peep Mode episode, Picture in Picture Learn English with Peter. It's about learning English with AI chatbots in general, but I still use uh, the study and learn mode of Microsoft Copilot. And I was thinking that I only did a lot a lot of episodes are about English grammar, and I was and it isn't the main goal of this kind of episodes. The main goal of this episode, in my opinion, is about learning English in general. And I was thinking that I want to add, except that I have to add, except grammar episodes of Learn English with Peter. I want to add storytelling episodes where Copilot or other chatbots can generate a 500 word funny story, and what and Copilot and other chatbots can simply explain English grammar without problems, and it can be a very useful kind of episodes. And the third type of Learn English with Peter can be about practicing real kind situations with AI chatbots. I don't mean this voice mode, because I cannot do this. I cannot. It can be under the protection of copyright. I don't want to have problems with it, as you know. It's normal, I think. But I can read. I can simply play with a chatbot, with every kind of AI chatbot I can play, and we can practice real life situations. I don't simply need to do only about grammar questions, because the main thing of my Learn English with Peter, of my people episodes, Learn English with Peter, the main goal is practice my English. And AI chatbot, I want to use AI chatbots as my personal English teachers for every day, and you can use it too, because it's a very good idea. Okay, I simply streamed 4 episodes, and on this Friday, I mean the last Friday, 10th of July 2026, I had the publication day of Peter English podcast. Yay! Where I published uh, eight eight recordings of as my official episodes of my Peter's English podcast. Now I feel better. Yes, after this good lunch, and I did 4 episodes are peep mode episodes learn English with Peter. 2 episodes are Peter Sunday 1 Hour Ramble episodes, and 2 episodes are picture-in-picture mode episodes about Viera's universe from my novel Viera the Vampire Diary. And what else? And yes, yesterday I did. Yes, I bought something from grocery store because yes, I bought a lot of bottles of mineral water, because we can use mineral waters in Slovakia. As you know, we can simply bought in the grocery stores, and I did it. And in the afternoon, I wrote, streamed, and recorded chapter 18 of season 3, uh, Vampire Pub House, of my novel The Vampire Diary. And it's about, what is it about? Wait a minute, Peter. What is it about? I don't know now. Yes, Peter. It's okay that you don't know what is it about, but it's yes, I know. Yes. What? Wait. Yes, I know. I know now. Sophie Ashford, the beautiful, tall, dark brunette female vampire. She is the daughter of the of her parents, that are old aristocratic family of the Ashford Syndicate, and they are the second richest vampire UK aristocratic family, and they are owners of the second biggest UK bank. Yes, yes, I know. It's only my fantasy. Don't worry, people. It's only my fantasy. I created them. I mean, the Ashford Syndicate in my head. It's my fantasy. It's my imagination. Yes, it's called imagination, and I did it. And but Peter, simply continue. But yes, this is my Peter Sunday 1 Hour Ramble episode. I can ramble about this for 1 hour without problems. And Sophie wanted to humiliate Vera. Yes, because Sophie has to show Vera that Vera is her goddess. And Sophie was very angry, and she decided that she wants to humiliate Vera, and she wanted to have Peter as a mistress. Yes, as a boyfriend for one date, and she wanted to invite Vera and Vera has to go with Peter's brother Pavel, and she could be her girlfriend, not boyfriend, her girlfriend, uh, because I don't know if you know, but Vera decided that it's a good idea to create a new rule, no rules, and what is it? This rule about? The rule is about no rules. That simply it's about everything. It's about trust. That means that Vera and Peter could have mistresses, could have flirt with with opposite gender. We found problems, but they trust each other. And Sophie decided that she wanted to add the same. That she wanted to create the same rule for her and for her and for her boyfriend Pavel, and she did it. And she invited. Yes, I didn't clearly wrote that if Vera was invited or she came uh, herself with an invitation, but it's not important. I didn't simply add it into this story, but simply Sophie was thinking that Vera has to be invited, and and how this story started. Um, yes, Sophie wanted to humiliate Vera, and what happened? Uh, the first scene was about a lot of shouting because Peter came at home from his work in the Thomas Bennett's pub, because he works in the kitchen, and because he works in the kitchen, and he was tired, and he simply washed his hands, uh, and then he cleaned his hands with the uh, phew, oh, I didn't find the right word for this. I simply didn't, and now, yes, okay. It Peter is not important. Yes, you know how people wash their hands. They simply wash their hands, yes, I can simply describe you that Peter wrongly washed his hands in the eyes of Vera. And Vera was starting to shout at him that, Peter, what are you doing? You cannot wash your hands in this way. You can use my way. And she was shouting. She was angry. She simply aggressively touched him, and and it was very funny. And Peter was very angry. And he decided to escape from Vera, and he wanted to go to his brother. And Vera was very jealous, because she said, Peter, you want to go to this Sophie, to this slut Sophie. Yes, because I add this word English slut, because I add it, because I like it. It's simply funny. Yes, it's simply funny. And she simply go, uh, and not go. Peter simply go went not go went to his brother Pavel, and his brother Pavel lives with his girlfriend Sophie in their castle. And Vera was jealous, because she was thinking that Peter want to visit Sophie, yeah, because Sophie was beautiful too. She was a beautiful female vampire, yeah, you know. And she was shouting at him, but Peter escaped. But she met Sophie, yes, and Sophie went with him by London's underground, and she was flirting with him the whole time, and Peter enjoyed it. Yes, of course, because he was angry, and Sophie was very nice to him, and so on. And she explained Peter during this way that his brother Pavel is in the pub uh, near the next underground stop. And Peter decided that, yes, it's a good idea. Why not? And they did together. And Sophie with Peter came to this pub near the second underground stop, and they met Peter's brother Pavel, and they sit together. And it was the second fun, because Sophie's boyfriend Pavel was jealous at Peter, because she said, "Oh, Sophie, what did you had with my girlfriend Sophie?" It was very funny. I did a lot of Oh, I've been streaming for 15 minutes. Peter, great. Not Výborně. This is in Slovak. Simply continue. Uh, and yes, and she was, and he was jealous. Pavel was jealous, and his brother Peter. But and Sophie was very happy because she had a date with his boyfriend and with his close friend Peter. But Vera appeared. Vera appeared with, and she wore beautiful blue summer dress with blue heels, and she was very attractive. She has deep cleavage. She was simply very attractive, and the both brothers stared at her because she was very attractive, beautiful, hot, sexy. Yes, you know, and 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 simply Sophie had a big shock. And yes, of course, the main star, the most beautiful vampire, was the goddess Vera. Yes, of course. What else did you thought? And Vera appeared, and she started to play the theater with them, and she said, "Oh, Pavel, come with me." And Pavel was scared because Vera was looking, Vera was staring at his neck. He was thinking that she wants to bite him, but Peter decided to do something. He was jealous at his brother Pavel, and he did. Vera, you have to come with me. And Vera decided, and Vera told, yes, I was scared that you don't tell something, and they did, and they went together and to talk. Yes, I add that I wrote that they talked with each other because I didn't want to. I did this because I wanted to publish this story everywhere. I don't know if I can use, because as you know, AI chatbots has their rules, and if you write a wrong word, a little word that is I don't know, that is connect to sex or something like that, it cannot be so. And but thanks to these rules of AI chatbots, I can publish my story. Yeah, and I did it. And how the story continued. The story continued that Peter and Vera came to talk in private with each other. They were kissing and these kind of things, but don't worry, in a normal way. And Sophie and Pavel decided to go out because Pavel wanted to have a nice talk with his girlfriend Sophie, and they did, and that was the end of the story. What do you think about it? Do you like my story? Do you like my novel? Who knows? Who knows? Yes, I can simply make fun that my audience is like, uh, and now I don't yes, grasshoppers. Yes, that my audience is is like the field full of grasshoppers, that they only sing their song in the metaphoric way, and it means that I don't have any audience at all. And who knows if you like my story. And this was the end of chapter 18. And you can visit, if you want to read and listen or watch my novel, simply visit petersenglishpodcast.com. And because my petersenglishpodcast.com, my website, the official website of my podcast, is a fan page of my novel, The Vampire Diary. Yes, of course, I was thinking that it's a good idea. And what I did, because my website was a big rubbish, it was full of rubbish. And I decided that my Peter's English Podcast website has to be the fan page of Vera, and I did it. I created only 3 pages. The first page is about season 1 of Viera the Vampire Diary, on my novel. The second page is about season 2, and the third page is about season 3. Okay, I think that I can continue. Yes, because my cables on my headphones moved a little, but okay, nothing happened at all. Peter, simply continue and shut up. Okay, simply continue. Don't worry. And yes, I will, and I added. That means that now my website, peterenglishpodcast.com, has only 3 pages, and every page, is the official fan page for every season. That means that every page for every season has its own title. I mean, title of the whole series, season. I mean, title the whole season with the beautiful image of Yara, the vampire girl, and there is uh, the embed player of my YouTube uh, playlist. Then there is the Spotify embed player of my of my podcast playlist. Then there is the audio pocket cast embed player of my pod, Peter English podcast playlist, and then there is uh, the embed page of my Instagram, but my Instagram is little because not tacto. People, Peter, don't use Slovak words again. You did a mistake. Yes, okay, I try, and yes, I like to speak with myself in this way in English because it's funny for me. If you don't like my method of speaking, bye bye. I don't care, but okay. And I want to tell you that my social media are dead. Why? I can explain you why because this it we can continue. No, I want to see, I'm joking. I want to tell you that I don't use social media for my Python English podcast anymore, and simply why? Because I discovered that yes, I created a lot of reels that are in my social media and on that are the part of social media and of my YouTube channel. Yeah, you know. But people only watch these reels. We found visiting my official podcast. They simply watch every reel for a few seconds and they simply move with their fingers to the next reel. And Bobby your uncle, no one cares. And I decided not don't and I decided that Peter, you cannot continue with reels. You are not an influencer. Yes, I'm not an influencer because if you want to be a successful influencer, you have to create a lot of reels for every day. And I'm not an influencer, I'm a podcaster, I'm a novelist. I like to do long content, not a short content. Yeah, you know. And this is the main reason why I don't want to do when I not to be an influencer, and when why I don't want to create reels anymore, and why I don't want to care about my social media anymore. Why? It's a bad idea. And yes, now I feel much better. Yes, because I had very good lunch. And yes, I was talking about social media. And okay, I forgot the topic where I was that I was talking about. Yes, I was talking about social media and about my last chapter 18. And now I can continue with the statistics of Peter's English podcast. The first kind of statistics are the official total statistics of Peter's English podcast on my podcast audio and video hosting service Spotify for creators, where I have 5,049 total streams and downloads everywhere except YouTube. Yay! That's great. People, thank you very much. And now want to continue with Spotify. In Spotify, I have, I think, more than 500 plays, but I have only on Spotify 21 hours and 44 minutes, I think. That's great. Thank you, guys. And the majority of people are still girls in my age. Yay! Thank you, guys. Thank you, girls. Thank you very much. And the other people are men. Yeah, you know. And from Slovakia, of course. And then I want to continue with the devices. No. I want to continue with the countries where people listen to or watch my content. The biggest country is the USA. Yay! Thank you, guys from the USA. The second place is Japan. The third place is Taiwan. Fourth place is Brazil, and Slovakia is only 3%. Yes, because I'm from Slovakia, as you know. And it's funny. I'm from East Slovakia. And it's so funny that my home country has only 3%. Yay! Perfect. Uh, that means I'm an international podcaster. I can simply be proud of myself because thanks to this audience, I can tell that I'm a typical American podcast. Why? Because 35% of my audience is from the USA. Yay, thank you guys. But I'm a little podcaster from East Slovakia, from Europe, from the Middle Europe, because yes, you can call it East Europe, but this Middle Europe. And I'm so happy that people understands me and people listen to me. And but my numbers are not growing very quickly and very fast as I hoped. But it's not about this, I'm doing this podcast. I've been doing this podcast since 15th of June 2024 until now because it's my hobby. I like to learn English. I like to watching movies and series in English. I like to listening to my favorite English podcasts and audiobooks. Peter's English podcast is my big hobby, and my novel, The Vampire Diary, is my big hobby too. Okay, and I can continue that with the devices, and because uh, yes, because the most people listen to or watch my content on their browsers. Yay, perfect. And the biggest operation systems of my Peter's English podcast, where people listen to me, is macOS. You don't believe me? macOS dominates in my statistics. The second place is for Windows. The third place is for Android, and fourth place is for iOS. That means that people watch my content via browsers of their macOS. Perfect. That's perfect. And what else? And yes, if I continue with the devices, browsers are the is the biggest place where people listen or watch my content. The second place is uh, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and third place is Spotify. No, Spotify is only 3%. Because browser dominates with the method of of listening or watching my content. And Peter, simply don't touch your cable because you can destroy something. Okay, I try. Uh, and these are the statistics. And yes, I can tell you that the most uh, that the biggest that the top 10, that the most successful episodes of my podcast everywhere with the biggest listening time or watch time is look English with Peter. The third place, yes, no, third or second place is for my Peapod episode of chapter 1 of season 3 of my novel Vampire Diary. Yes, of course. My episode 1 of oh, not episode. My chapter 1 of season 3 of my novel The Vampire Diary has 20 minutes. That's great. That's it. That means that my novel The Vampire Diary chapter 1 of season 3 has the third or second place of the most successful episode. That's great. And as episode 2 of chapter 2 of season 3 of my novel The Vampire Diary has 8 or 10 plays. Perfect. I'm simply happy. But the most other 8 episodes are people episode English with Peter. Thank you guys. I'm so happy, but the statistics could go better. And yes, I can continue with the yes. I told you. I can tell you that on Spotify I have 14 followers. No, not 14 followers, not 14 listeners. I mean 14 followers. Thank you guys. And I can continue with Apple Podcast where I have 12 followers. Thank you guys. 7 hours of listening time. And I have 442 plays. Thank you guys. Yeah, I'm so happy. But as you know, uh, Apple Podcast created HLS video for every podcast. That means you can watch the videos for every podcast that is supported by their podcast hosting service. And there are a lot of hosting services that are supported, they are supporting, that are supports this HLS video by created by Apple Podcast, uh, Apple Podcast Connects, and my Spotify for creators is coming soon. With HLS video for Apple Podcast Connect, and I'm so happy. That means that Spotify officially told everyone that they want to support HLS video sent by their RSS feed to Apple Podcast Connect, and that's great. I can improve my podcast. It can be a huge upgrade for my podcast because I can have better numbers, more listening time of Apple Podcasts, because the biggest majority of my audience is uses macOS and web and their web browsers. May I think yes, people use macOS. People use operation system created by Apple. That means that I can upgrade my podcast. I mean, I can upgrade the statistics of my podcast on Apple Podcast, but who knows, in this time is not supported, but Spotify for Creators wants to support, and that's great. And it's officially written. You can visit Apple Podcast Connect website, and I'm so happy that the future can be better for my podcast. And now I want to continue with the statistics of my YouTube channel. Yay! I do don't believe me, but I have 143 0.7 watch hours on YouTube. Yeah, I'm so happy. Yes, it's not a big number, but for me it's a beautiful number. But the statistics are the same on YouTube. My reels on YouTube have 6,800 views. My long videos have 4,200 views, and my live streams have more than 800 views. The statistics are totally the same. But okay, I told you my statistics, but now I want to talk about the statistics again, because my YouTube statistics on my YouTube channel are simply terrible. Why are they terrible? Because I created more than 1,140 videos on my YouTube channel, and I don't I don't have big statistics. Yes, I can tell you about the followers. This is a positive number. Thank you guys on YouTube, because I have now 48 followers on YouTube. Yay, thank you guys. I'm so happy. Thank you for following. But I could have more followers on YouTube. I can have more followers everywhere. And again, I could have better numbers, because it's a little funny that my whole podcast has 12,000. Yes, it's a beautiful number for me. I know. I'm simply beginner. I'm doing this podcast for 2 years. I can, and now it's too hard to do podcast, pre-podcast. Yes, I could have better numbers. I know. I think that I could have better numbers, and one episode of my podcast on my YouTube channel can could might could have more than 12,000 views, but that is not true. My episode on my YouTube channel have a few views. It's not very good, positive number, but my total views of my whole YouTube channel are is this number, more than 12,000 views I have together of my. I want to tell you simply that I have together on YouTube. I have more than 12,000 views. It's perfect. Thank you guys, but it could be simply better. And the same thing is with my Spotify for Creators, and with my uh, and with my total number 5,049 total streams or downloads everywhere except YouTube. Peter, don't destroy something. I want to tell you simply that I could have better numbers. I could have 5,000 views per week. I could have better numbers. I could have more than 1,000 followers on YouTube. I could have more than 1,000 followers on my Spotify or Apple Podcast and so on. But I don't have. But I was thinking about it, and I was chatting with my favorite AI chatbot, Microsoft Copilot, about this. My opinion is that that's in these times, it's very hard to be successful podcaster. Why? Because the first thing is, there are a lot of podcasts on YouTube. There are a lot of podcasts in general. And if you want to be successful, your podcast has to be discovered by everyone. But you have to pay for this discovery, I don't know, Discord Discovery T. You have to pay ads. You have to pay ads if you want to be discovered by everyone. And this is the problem because I did it. I did it. I did it 1 year or 2 years ago. What I did. I simply paid for the YouTube reel uh, that was connected to my YouTube channel, and I paid for it 20 euros, I think. But what happened? I simply had uh, 800 views. Only this one YouTube reel had 800 views. Nothing happened with my podcast at all. I simply paid money for nothing, and it didn't. It didn't happen something, and people still didn't saw me because if you have to be successful, you have to be discovered by everyone on YouTube and on Spotify and on or Apple Podcasts and so on. You have to be discovered because no one knows about you until you pay ads, and I think that you have to pay regularly for ads. But I'm not a company. This podcast is totally free. I don't have any profit of this, and it's my hobby. But I'm sad that people don't know because people don't know my content. People don't know anything about something about my novel, The Other Vampire Diary, and I'm a little sad for this because yes, I'm online. My podcast is online everywhere. You can discover my podcast at every better or good podcast app. I'm on Spotify, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Apple Podcast, I'm on Amazon Music and audible.com, where you can uh, buy audiobooks. Yes, people, my favorite service for audiobooks is audible.com. I'm there, but people don't know me. You have to be discovered. This is the main problem. Why people didn't discover me until now? And it's not a shame. It's not a shame because it's not my fault. My podcast is great. I'm simply proud of myself that now I can speak for 37 minutes about one thing, and I don't repeat myself with the same thing again and again and again. And I can tell you that this is the main reason why my podcast has these numbers. And yes, I'm people don't know about me anything. And yes, I was thinking about it too, that my close family could support me with following and positive comments in English, but it's not possible. Because yes, everyone is different, and my family simply don't understand me. I think I don't know their opinion. I don't know what they're thinking about my podcast at all, but I don't care. Yes, now I can change, but yes, I could talk about this for hours about why my podcast is not so successful. But the first thing is I don't do my podcast for statistics. I'm doing my podcast because it's my hobby. I like to do this, and I'm proud of myself that I have until now more than 5,039 uh, streams or downloads everywhere except YouTube. That I have more than 12,000 views on YouTube. That's great. That I have 48 followers on YouTube, and I have 14 followers of Spotify. And I'm proud of myself that people understand me, and I'm proud of myself that the biggest country is the USA. The second place is Japan, and the third place is Taiwan. I'm so happy that people can understand me, and that's great. I'm proud of myself what I did, and now I want to continue to talk about uh, about this topic. Yes, about this topic that it's about that I simply don't care about your opinion, what you are thinking about my podcast at all. Yes, I don't care what my family think about my podcast, about my learning English. I don't think in general what everyone thinks about me. You can gossip about me behind my back. But you cannot combat me and order me what I should do with my life. I want to fight for my learning English in general. I want to fight for my novel, Peter's English Podcast. and I want to fight for my novel, The Vampire Diary. I want to fight. It's my thing, it's my business, it's my life. It is meant for everyone. I simply people, I want to explain you, no one can stop me from learning English. You cannot stop me if you are everyone, if you are my parent, if you are my family, my sister, everyone, you cannot stop me at all. It's my thing, it's my business. And if you don't like my content, shut up and go away. But other people, if you like my content, please follow me, support me with positive English comments. But I don't want to chat with you without reason in English. No, thank you. I don't have time for you because I like to do my podcast. But if you want to be a member of my Peter English podcast community, it's about, I mean, the Peter English podcast community, it's about doing Peter's talk show. What is Peter's talk show? Peter's talk show is the fourth kind of episodes where I want to do interview with my with everyone who likes learning English, for whom is learning English is their hobby, is their lifestyle, who has their own English podcast, and who has their own English novel for learning English like me. Simply I want to connect with everyone who is like me. And I don't want to waste my time with someone who doesn't care about me, who gossips behind my back, and so on. If you, and yes, I don't want to connect with everyone who wants to come at me and who likes making fun of me in general and so on. Okay, I've been streaming for 41 minutes, and now I can as usual, I can not defeat. I want to talk about learning English, and I can tell you that I've been learning English since August 2022. Before this year, before this August 2022, I didn't know anything. I was scared. I was scared about learning English, and, and how I discovered it. I simply wanted to learn. I simply was chatting with girls without reason. It was a terrible idea because, yeah, you know how internet works. Simply, people like to chat without reason for about every kind of nonsense for ages. I simply did it, and I felt terrible. I felt terrible. Uh, and I felt terrible, and it was terrible idea, and I had a lot of negative uh, experiences with meeting girls. No, thank you. And I decide, and I simply what I did. I simply talked with one during via internet from Ukraine, and I talked with her in English. No, in Slovak, I think. Oh yes, in Slovak because I didn't speak English, and I didn't, and I wanted to learn Ukraine language, and I bought for myself. I remember I bought for myself Ukraine grammar book, and I want to later I wanted to learn Russian because I think Russian is bigger language. Yes, but I think Peter, you have to learn English because English is an international language number one, and I did it, and it was the right idea because English is the biggest main language of planet Earth. English is the main language of the internet. English is the main language of business, and thanks to learning English, you can chat with everyone in the world. Yeah, yes, I know there are places, there are countries where you have to know Russian or I don't know Spanish or Portugal and I don't know what. But English is an international language of the business, and thanks to learning English, you can travel around the world without problems. The second thing is that. As you know, English is the main language of the internet. There are a lot of English content. Imagine you can watch movies and series in English. You can listen to your favorite English podcasts and audiobooks in English. There are plenty of English podcasts. And what you can do, you can create your own English podcast, uh, and you can create your own novel and publish your novel into as the part of your podcast. And what to listen to? Want to listen to? Yes, it's time for my usual 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 time for a free ad for my favorite English podcast. The biggest my I listen to free English podcasts at all. The first is Luke's English podcast. Yay! I was inspired by Luke's English podcast because Luke one day one day told people, create your own English podcast for learning English, and do this, and I did this. And the biggest, my favorite, my first favorite English podcast for learners of English is Luke's English podcast. Yay! Luke Thompson is an English teacher and stand-up comedian from London, and Luke's English, not Peter, his Luke's English podcast is about natural British English, how it's spoken. Luke talks with his family, with his friends. He has his favorite and famous ramble episode that I like a lot, and or you can enjoy Luke's storytelling episodes where he reads English story and he explains English vocabulary and grammar. And you can support Luke with LEP Premium, that is about serious teaching of natural British English, how it's spoken. And you can do this if you want. The second is All Ears English podcast, and the third is Speak English podcast now with Georgiana. And these two English podcasts are American English podcasts. You can practice, thanks to all these English podcasts, you can practice your you can practice natural. You can listen to natural American English, how it's spoken, because all these English podcasts is about conversation between American English native speakers, or you can enjoy Speak English podcast now with Georgiana, that it's about American English and culture too. Okay, and how to do this? Please simply download your favorite podcast app from iOS or from Google Play, install it, and follow your favorite English podcasters, and have to listen to this. I listen to this every day, one episode per day. But if you have one episode per day in my free time. But if you don't have free time, you don't need to listen one episode at all. You can, if the episode is long, you can listen the time where you have free time. You can stop it. You can press pause, and app can remember your position, and then you can and because your position is synchronized with your account of your podcast app, and then you can return with it and continue. And you don't need simply to relax. You can do everything. You can do your chores at home. You can wash dishes. You can cook. You can clean. Why are you listening? Your favorite English podcast. It's a very good idea. It's a very good hobby. And you don't need Slovak or Czech television anymore. And that's great. You don't need to watch sports. You don't need to care in general about this nonsense. You simply can enjoy English podcast while are you doing something. And you people that you don't believe me, but I've been listening. I've been listening my favorite English podcast since August 2023 until now. I finished the whole free archive of Luke's English podcast. I finished the whole archive of Speak English podcast now with Georgiana, and I listened to 9,000. 9,000. I listened to 940 episodes of all his English podcasts, and thanks to listening, I improved my listening skills, and it helps me a lot with my English in general. Because let's be honest, how to start learning English? You have to listen to a lot natural English, how it's spoken. Because I think yes, you can start with simple English, but it's not everything. You have to practice natural English, how it's spoken. And thanks to my favorite English podcasters, you can practice your listening skill, how it's spoken. But that is not all. Yes, you have to do it regularly, and you have to do this every day. One episode per day, but you don't need to listen to it one episode at all. You can simply listen to in your free time, but you have to do this regularly, and you have to finish the whole episode. That's the main thing. That's the main goal. And now, later, you have to practice everything. You have to practice reading skills. Why? Because thanks to reading skills, you can improve your English grammar and vocabulary. You have to regularly practice your writing skills. Why you have to practice your writing skills? Because Thanks to writing skills, you can activate your passive English vocabulary into active English vocabulary, and you can create your own English novel like me. Why? You can create your own novel like me, and you can create your own universe. You can have fun like me. And for me, it's my hobby. I like to do my novel, The Vampire Diary. It's my hobby. It's like watching a good movie. Yes, yes, and you can create something funny that you like, and that's great. And every chapter can have only 500 words, and you don't need to. Yes, and you have to write in English every episode. But I don't write in English. I write in Slovak. But you can use the help of AI chatbots that can translate your words into natural English, how it's spoken, that you can publish. And it's great. It's really great. And now I want to. And yes, you can. You have to practice. Uh, reading your speaking skills. Yeah, how to do this. Create your own podcast. Yes, you can talk. Yes, first thing, hire your own English teacher like me. Hi, my English teacher. I wish you a lot of luck, and thank you for your and thank you for teaching me English. And yes, but imagine if you have one English lesson per week. It's not enough, but you have to practice your English. You can chat with AI chatbot in English. It's a very good idea. They can repair you. They can be uh, your friends, but not I mean real friends. I mean you can simply use them as creative tool for improving your English. You can chat with them in English. I mean with AI chatbots. They can find you every kind of information on the internet. They can help you with your novel. They can help you with your podcast. And then I created my Peter English podcast thanks to AI chatbots, and I'm proud of myself that I did it. Create your own podcast. Every episode can have 5 minutes. Your episode doesn't need to be long like mine. One episode can have 5 minutes. Your novel every chapter of your novel can have 500 words. You don't need to create big epic novel like from Tolkien, the Lord of the Rings. It doesn't need to be so long if you don't have time. You can simply, but the the main goal is that learning English has to be funny. Okay, I've been simply, I've been speaking in English for 52 minutes, and I'm simply, and what I can tell you now, what I how can connect? Yes, I was talking about how to learn English. It's a very good idea, and I simply explain you why you have to learn English. And people, and yes, everyone can learn English today. You can use internet. Everyone has internet today. You can learn English in general because it's funny. Learning English is to be funny. You have to, yes, you have to practice your English skills. Yes, I was talking how to practice your speaking skills. You have to think in English. You can hire your over English teacher. You can speak at the mirror, but it's nonsense. Why? Because it's strange to do this, I think. But if you start your own English podcast, you can, yes, but Peter, but people can say, Peter, but you have to pay for hosting as this and for everything. Yes, yes, but you can start only with the mic. You can buy simply you can start with the dynamic mic. Don't buy condenser mic. You can buy simply one dynamic mic, one boom arm, and Bob's your uncle. And yes, you need a good computer, and computer you need. And but hostings uh, in these days, Spotify for creators is free. You can use their free service, but you can use another free services that are, I know that they are, and you can start to do this. It can be the part of your practicing. Thanks to your own English podcast, you can have beautiful hobby in your free time, and your mind can be healthy. But and learning English has to be funny, and it can be if you know how to do this. And imagine, I didn't know. I was scared of learning English. I have been learning German since childhood because I remember that I watched a German television into via satellite. Satellite, I think it's called. But today, but if until I started how learning English, I simply discovered that yes, how and how I was learning German. I was good in German listening, and thanks to watching German television, I improved my German listening skills. And it's the same with English these days. You don't need to listen, or you don't need to use satellite. You can use your internet, and in Slovakia you can use optical internet via electric poles today. You can use this without problems. You can use your phones. Everyone has connection to internet, and why not? And simply as people use AI chatbots is the biggest invention of of this years of this 21st century, because you can use their help. They are perfect creative partners. They are a good tool for learning English. They are perfect. They are perfect. Yes, they cannot replace humans. They weren't created for replacing humans. They were creating as tools for helping people. And people don't believe conspiracy theories, but people in Slovakia or in other countries like to believe every nonsense. Yes, but if you people, I want to tell you, you use internet for every day, don't you? And imagine you write your information into Google and so on. You write your information everywhere, everywhere. Everyone knows about you. I mean, if you are a user of internet, you write your personal information in general, and you use internet, and your personal, yes, you don't have any problem with writing personal information or on social media. It is okay for you. But if you use AI chatbots for learning English, yes, you don't need to write your personal information if you don't want. But you can use AI chatbots for learning English. It's a very good idea. But people don't use apps like Duolingo, please. Yes, I always make fun of. Yes, I always. But it's true. Duolingo only teaches you American English. You don't practice speaking skills. You don't practice listening skills. Simply people play not to simply play my favorite English podcasts for learners of English. It's play Looks English podcast and all it is English, and you can discover why Duolingo is for nothing. Okay. Oh, I've been streaming for 57 minutes. I'm so proud of myself because in this day, because I simply was talking about that I have low numbers and I want to increase my numbers, and I would be glad if my numbers would be bigger and bigger. But who knows? I simply, the main thing is to like this thing. Is my hobby. It's not my job. I cannot change my Peter and Chris podcast into a profit. It's not possible. My Peter and Chris podcast is free, and I simply upload videos for free and Bob Uncle. And I want to continue because it's my hobby. But and yes, but people, please discover my novel, The Advent Particle Diary. And who knows, I can sell a license for my novel. That means I can earn $1 million thanks to my novel without having a regular profit, and I can continue with my free podcast at all. But it's only my imagination, it's a fantasy. But simply, the main goal is that I've been learning English because until now, because it's my hobby, it's my lifestyle, and I want to connect with someone like me who like learning English. Okay, I think, and yes, I don't want to waste time with everyone doesn't uh, who doesn't speaks English, who don't want to learn English, who don't have their own English podcast and for learning English, and and who don't write their own novel for learning English like myself. And it's not rare because if we don't know about these people, because in these days, yes, you are online, but but people in general don't know about you and until you pay for ads, but they don't very useful. Okay, I've been streaming for 1 hour. It's yes, not right now because I've been streaming for 59 minutes and 45 seconds. But I want to stream for more than 1 hour and 2 minutes, like usual. Okay, people. I can read you. I can read you my slogan and Bob's Uncle. Okay, here is. This slogan was created by myself. Is my This slogan is my work. Okay, let's read it. I created it last Christmas. And Peter just read it and shut up. Learn English, be successful, change your life, open a lot of doors, create your own podcast, write your own novel. You don't need to be talented because learning English is for everyone. Okay, people. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your following. Please watch my content. Follow me everywhere. Support me with your following. Watch my content. Enjoy it. Learn English. Create your own podcast. Write your own novel and change your life, because thanks to learning English you can open a lot of doors. Thanks to them you can totally change your life, your life and the life of your children. Okay, I simply did it again. I'm so happy. I'll be streaming more than 1 hour, and I want to stream for 1 hour 2 minutes like usual. It's my tradition, and I want to. And what's the plan? The next week I work in the afternoon. It's week A, but I want to continue with the chapter 19, with my chapter 19 of season 3 of my novel, We Are the Empirical Diary. And yes, I didn't talk about my novel. I didn't talk about my novel, but I think, I can talk about my novel the next time, because I think 1 hour is enough for me for today. But I want to continue with my novel because it's funny. It's a big parody, and Vera the Vampire Diary is a symbol of my life, because Vera symbolizes my life. And Vera, and why I created Vera, because I was fascinated by female vampires. I like mm, and I'm simply fascinated by beautiful, attractive women with a lot of power. And I like when if women are, yes, but I don't like uh, when women are dominating, when women are dominating everyone in their life. And I simply like to make fun of dominate of women who likes to dominate the everyone, who likes to dominate and I like to make fun of romantic relationships in general. And my novel, The Vampire Diary, it's a comedy sitcom series. It's a parody of my life. There are a lot of wild, crazy dialogues. There are a lot of crazy nonsense stories. But the main goal of my novel is to practice my writing skills, and I like to make fun of everything. And my novel is simply the parody of my life, and Vera is a symbol of my it's a symbol of the parody, because I like to make fun of my future imagined future dream girlfriend that is dominate that like to dominate, they like to do or to give me orders, who like to who like um, who likes to give me orders how should I live. And I simply like to make fun of my possible future girlfriend in general. And this is the main thing. Yes, it's about I like to make fun of my life in general without attacking someone. Okay, I think that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. And I want to tell you, bye bye.